This is the Retirement Solution Podcast with financial advisor Jon Hicks, founder of J. Hagan Capital.
Mr. Hicks, how are we today?
Pretty good this morning.
Okay.
You know, all things being considered. Pretty good.
What does that mean? I don't know.
Ask. This was a weird week when it came to headlines, right?
Well,
when we're looking at debt ceiling problems, we're looking at inflationary concerns. We're looking at geopolitical nonsense because every one of our friends are not necessarily comrades in either Russia or China, seem to have all these things that they want to try to topple the country. We have all kinds of issues we're seeing from the earnings coming in from all of the corporations that are now releasing. We have bank issues.
Yep.
And then on top of that, the whole thing really comes back to that very first one. Our congressional leaders and our senators and our administrations and all this stuff cannot figure out how to utilize our money correctly. That's the biggest problem because we are here on this show every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, trying to learn how to be responsible Americans, trying to figure out how we can take what we have saved and turn that into a positive and awesome opportunity for us to retire and live with dignity. We are trying to do this every single weekend day. And here we see these bloviating fools sitting around in rooms, not being able to figure out how to waste our money slightly better. Because they're still wasting it, but they're not wasting it even well. They just keep going further and further and further and further into debt. So I apologize. I had to get on my soapbox this morning, but I said all things considered, because I can't control that.
Then let's perhaps divert our focus and attentions. Unfortunately, we can't look to the people that we have voted for in Washington, D.C.
Or didn't vote for.
Listen, we're not going down that path.
They've gone down that path.
Let's look towards the people that give us little shining lights of hope. AKA the legendary Warren Buffett.
Okay.
Just saying
Oracle.
his name, right. Just saying his name doesn't make sense. And whenever I hear him talk, he seems so optimistic about so many things.
Yeah, for a 92-year-old, he still drinks Coca-Cola, eats Krispy Kreme donuts and cheeseburgers from McDonald's
Doesn't he
with
have like
regularity.
an Egg McMuffin every day for breakfast or something like that?
I think that's true.
I think he's
and
got
washes it down with a not diet, a full octane Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You got to love a 92-year-old that understands, man. This is probably not going to kill me.
Right? I made it this far.
Probably
Why stop
at this
now?
stage, probably not going to kill me.
Not only 92 years old, but celebrating 58 years at Berkshire Hathaway. If only we could all have such longevity in our careers. He has quite the track record. Let's look at some stats. In his tenure, overseen a 3.7 million % return for his company.
Absolutely.
He actually credits his success to, quote, a dozen truly good decisions, which I love, again, the simplicity of how he seems to approach so many things in life, because that averages out to about one really good idea every 5 years or so.
Absolutely.
And it's not about getting every decision right, John. It's about getting the important decisions right. And you were talking about the things that we talk about here on this radio program every weekend. And that's what we're constantly reiterating. The important things that pre-retirees need to be focused on. They've got to get it right.
Yeah, if you think about Warren Buffett, this is a 92-year-old man speaking very honestly about how he became successful. And I think that one of the craziest things that all of us, me included, sometimes we forget about, is that every single morning, those people that we look up to or we admire, they still have to get out of the bed every single morning, get out, brush their teeth, put their socks on, and somehow get dressed and go do their day. They do the exact same thing every single one of us do every day. So there are a lot of decisions, frankly, that we're making the exact same ones. I love the fact that Warren Buffett said over the course of his entire career, he's made about 12 really good decisions. 12 really good ones. And as I'm thinking through, the ones that we can all make or that I have made or that anyone can make, right? You have, number one, the choice of your faith. Number two, the choice of your spouse. Who are you going to spend the rest of your life with? Some of us get the opportunity to choose really great friends and we have unbelievable relationships. Those three things are probably the most important thing outside of everything. Money is tertiary when we're thinking about our faith and our relationships and our families, right? When we kind of look through things. But those 12 things he did over the course of 92 years in 58 at Berkshire Hathaway. So the amazing thing that I take away from this is that every single day, so many of us are so worried about making a wrong decision.
Yeah.
So many of us are just so fearful of those things that could happen. And amazingly, that is not at all what Warren Buffett talks about. He says, I've had some okay decisions. I've had some decisions that didn't kill me. I've had some really, really bad ones. But the main thing is that I want to focus on making really good decisions. So when we're thinking about how this show operates and what we're here to do every weekend, to me, maybe we did the job that we had to do, or we get promoted, or we're doing the job that we tolerate, or maybe some of us are doing the job we love. Imagine being able to make a decision where you could have the best, I'm talking the best quality of life for your retirement. That's what this show is about. Not making the perfect decision, not making the most absolutely best decision on the planet, making a really good decision for you, right? So some of us, this could come down to, hey, well, when do I want to retire? Some of it could come down to, okay, well, when do I need to turn on my Social Security? How do I want to establish my taxes so that I'm not going to be eaten up by the government who's broke as a joke right now? How can I be certain that my investments, I need them to be there for me? I need them to make sure that they will be there when I need them the most and not vanish like in 2022, not vanish away from me when I need them the most. I need to make certain I have some protections in there. How can I be certain that I get to live a comfortable and joyful existence with your spouse or with your family or with your friends or wherever you choose to spend that time? Whether it's your charity or your church group or your civic organization or people that you don't even know yet. Maybe you realize that one of the things you're missing in your life is that companionship, that friendship, that someone that you just would love to call your BFF, your best friend forever. Maybe you haven't even met him yet. The thing that I always think about when it comes to retirement is this is a renewal process for many people. And I've been able to witness it. I've been able to watch people completely transform their level of stress, transform their level of responsibility, transform their level of relationship with their significant others, with their spouses, with their kids. And it is so eye-opening how great life can be. But we have to focus on the important decisions.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett at age 92 said there's only 12. Okay. So the one thing that he talks about with consistency, and this is not just in one commentary, but if you read a lot of Warren Buffett, one of the things he says is it's just about making sure you don't make the dumb decisions, making sure that you don't make too many really poor decisions, because that ultimately is what ends up blowing us up, right? If we get too nervous, if our plan isn't right, maybe in the long run, it could be great if we're always invested in the market, but maybe we personally can't handle that, or we don't know where our income's going to come from. So we just pick at those dollars and pick at those dollars until unfortunately there's not enough to pick at, right? So it's making sure that we don't make those poor decisions. And that is really, in a nutshell, what J. Hagan Capital, what my firm is really built to do. Is not making the greatest decisions ever for everyone. Those are a little outside of all of our reach. Those are your personal decisions. Yeah. Those are the things that we can't make, but what we can be certain of is we can ensure that we never make really poor decisions. We want to know how much of our money we have protected so that it is there when we need it. We want to know how much income we can generate. And this is a personal situation, right? Would you rather have all of the money in the world while you're living, and so that last check bounces to the undertaker? Or would you rather have a tremendous amount of that wealth go to your family and your surviving spouse and things like that? Those are different choices. So we want to make sure we have that right. We want to know how that wealth is going to be transferred and how you at all stages of your life know not only do you have enough, but it can do all the stuff you want to do. Now, maybe not everything you want to do. So let me say that correctly. But all the important things, the bucket list items. Because in all of our lives, there's things we're going to have to give and take on a little bit, but it all comes down to stepping forward to making a great decision. For some of us, that might mean just reevaluate where you are. Maybe some of or the rest of us reevaluate your budget. Maybe for some of us, it's, hey, reevaluate what you want those dreams to look like. And for a lot of us, it just may be reevaluating and getting a second opinion on where you currently are today. It doesn't mean you have to make any changes. But it might simply just mean that you're looking at it through a different lens. Maybe just a different set of eyes that says, hey, you can do it this way, but you're going to save a ton of money. You're going to increase your income and reduce your stress and reduce your risk if you do it a different way. So that you get those choices. So regardless of whatever those best decisions for you in your life are going to be, I would suggest you start thinking about how you're going to make one of those today.
The process of retirement is a renewal process for so many people, John. That is such a poignant statement, and I think so relatable because it is. We are stepping into an entirely new phase of life. For the majority of people, hopefully you're only doing it this one time, but at J. Hagan Capital, you guys are doing retirement every single day. And
absolutely. And a lot of the things that we did to get to here aren't necessarily the things that we need to do to live the best life from here going forward.
Right.
And we understand that.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Solution Podcast with Jon Hicks. Begin the conversation about your savings plan with John and the team at J. Hagan Capital by visiting retirementsolutionradio.com. Be sure to listen to John's radio show, The Retirement Solution, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. on News Radio 840 WHAS.
J. Hagan Capital Inc. is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Hagan Capital Inc. is licensed in your state, please call 502-690-5635. J. Hagan Capital Inc. is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. It does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Jonathan Hicks, insurance license number 548962.